As we move into 2024, I want to reflect and look at all the TV shows, movies and music that we got from 2023, putting them into subcategories and just talking about what I really enjoyed from this year. Starting with TV, our first category will be new shows. Honourable mentions: Obliterated, Gen V, Justified City Primeval, Lucky Hank, Blue-Eyed Samurai and Bodies. At number 3 we have the TV show Kaleidoscope. To me, a new creative take on the bank robbery story, having a very non-linear approach and allowing the audience to decide how they want to approach the show, watching wise. This show also had great character development and a hooking story to go along with it. At number 2 we have the TV show Beef, a funny yet hooking show seeing a simple fender bender turning into a huge revenge plan between these two characters who seemed more focused on getting one over on another than their own personal lives. At number 1, Last of Us. Not only a great adaptation of the game, but they added amazing creative changes in certain episodes which made the show better than expected. Our next category will be shows that ended in 2023. Honourable mentions are Blacklist Season 10, Sex Education Season 4. But at number 3 we have Happy Valley Series 3. Whilst the side plots weren't the best, it's the main story of the show that was the most hooking, and we get a really great conclusion of the story between the protagonist and the antagonist and hear their sides of why they hate one another. At number 2 we have Snowfall Season 6. This season was amazing to watch, seeing Franklin go on the deep end to get his money, just showing how obsessed he is with money and how he'll go against family if it means getting it. But at number 1 we have Barry Season 4. This season's end was the most intriguing of all shows, as the ending was very much bittersweet for some characters, whilst for others it was just bitter. The show itself was very funny, dark and as usual action-packed, and quite a great way to end off this show. Our third category is Best Episodes of 2023. At number 3 we have Snowfall Season 6 Episode 9. This episode shows how dark Franklin's willing to go in order to get his money, and what seems to be a wasted amount of time soon becomes very effective before something catastrophic happens, leaving Franklin back at square one. Number 2, Black Mirror Season 6 Episode 5, Demon 79. A great episode about a demon trying to convince a woman to go on a killing spree in order to stop the apocalypse. But this plan goes awry when she goes after a politician who will do irreparable damage to her kind in the future. At number 1, Last of Us Season 1 Episode 3. A great and creative take on two minor characters who appeared in the game and really fleshed them out, and in my eyes stole the show. On to our last TV category, Best Shows of 2023. At first, honourable mentions: Blacklist Season 10, Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 and Beef Season 1. At number 3 we have Black Mirror Season 6, a very creative show with hooking stories in nearly every episode and never having a predictable end to each of the stories. Number 2, Last of Us Series 1. Like I said earlier, a faithful adaptation to the game, and the creative changes they made elevated the show to better heights. But at number 1, You Season 4. A show which manipulated its audience in the first half, showed us the reality in the second, really making us believe Joe has changed, but in reality it was for the worse, and we see he has dived deeper into his disturbing tendencies and removing all likability from the character. On to our second category, movies of 2023. The first category in that will be comedies. At number 3 we have Cocaine Bear, a very fun and creative take on what is based on a true story, but taken to the extreme. This film has a huge amount of laughs and violence all along the way. At number 2, Strays, a very funny film with undertones about abusive relationships and revenge. This film is hysterical, and while the swearing humour fades after a while, its crude and foul imagery still make us laugh. But at number 1 we have Renfield. To me, this film was a very hysterical but seriously violent film, which also had undertones about gaslighting, abusive relationships and narcissism. It was great to see Nicolas Cage playing Dracula, but to me, Nicholas Hoult and Awkwafina stole the show. On to best of 2023 films. Honourable mentions are The Flash, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. At number 3 we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I really enjoyed this film as I was expecting it to be quite a fun film, but my expectations were heightened when seeing how serious and dark this film is. Whilst the humour is there, majority of the time it's quite a dark and occasionally quite a sad film. Something I was surprised by and really enjoyed because of that. At number 2, John Wick 4. An amazing way to end the John Wick saga, being fully action-packed from start to finish, being creative with characters, camera angles, and new ways of throwing danger towards John Wick. This film had great deal of emotional moments as well, which really elevated the film even more. But at number 1 we have Oppenheimer. I went into this film with a blank slate and thoroughly enjoyed it because of that. I found it fascinating learning about this man and the journey he went on to create the atomic bomb, and learning of the crushing wave of guilt that hit him after its creation. On to our last category of the year, being music. The first subcategory, best music video. Honourable mentions are First Person Shooter by Drake featuring J. Cole. But at number 3 we have High Life by Logic. Now I know there's a major bias with this one, which I do understand, but as a Kevin Smith and Logic fan, seeing them two work together made me very happy, especially as there's plenty of references to the Clerks franchise thrown around. But at number 2 we have Riot by A$AP Rocky. Just from a visual standpoint, this music video is amazing to look at, and nearly each and every shot being more intriguing than the other. But at number 1 we have Now and Then by the Beatles. I'm sorry. At number 1 we have Sorry Not Sorry by Tyler the Creator. A great concept video which works amazingly well with the song. It's cool to see Tyler dressing as his old personas, even if they don't get enough screen time. On to our second subcategory, Best Duo Songs of 2023. Our honourable mentions are Doomsday by Juice WRLD and Cordae. But at number 3 we have Shimmy by Logic featuring Joey Badass. Now this is a collab most Logic fans have been wanting since they toured together, and honestly I think both parties did amazing, but I would be lying to myself if I said Joey Badass didn't have the better verse. At number 2 we have 210s by Cordae featuring Anderson .Paak. To me this is a fantastic duo song. These two have great chemistry shown on Cordae's first album with the song RNP, and seeing them collab again is golden. It's interesting that even though Cordae is younger than Anderson .Paak, he's the more mature one on this song when it comes to the subject matter. But at number 1 we have The Hillbillies by Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem. The energy both Keem and Kendrick bring is unmatched, and honestly the two do an amazing job when rapping separately, but also when they finish each other's sentences and really mix in with the flow. On to our last category, Best Songs of 2023. At number 3 we have Self Medication by Logic featuring Redman, Static Skelter and Seth MacFarlane. What starts off as a cool rap song between Logic and Redman is ultimately elevated by Seth MacFarlane and his singing. At number 2 we have The Hillbillies by Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem. To me it was just a very fun, catchy song with great energy that both Keem and Kendrick brought to the table, riding the beat with ease. But at number 1 we have Wolf Talk by Tyler the Creator, a personal favourite of mine as I rather enjoyed the mellow beat and Tyler's soft voice. It's got an R&B feel, but I actually really enjoy it, and then Rocky's featured verse is a great way to close the song out. And that is it for my thoughts on 2023's music, TV and film. If you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe, but most importantly, thank you for watching and have a nice day and enjoy your new year.